Yo, 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 yo. Chat. Hold on, yo. Chat, what's good, yo? Everybody get into these reviews. Finally. You know, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I'm tired, bro. Oh, I'm tired, yo. The mic is not muted. What are you talking about? What are you saying? Nah, but we about to get into this shit. Can y'all hear me? Is the mic low? I think it's low. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Alright, cool. Can y'all hear me? Is this shit too low? Is the mic too low? Yo. Yeah. I think it's alright. I think it's good. I think this shit is good. I'm not muted. What are you? I'm not fucking muted. I'm literally looking at my mic move right now. I'm not muted. Nigga saying, you muted, bro. No, I'm not. Alright. Cool. Alright, listen. Of course. Don't push yourself, bro. Stream doesn't have to be long. Respect that you're tired. Oh no. I'm good right now. I'm good. I appreciate that, bro. I'm good though. We're gonna get into these reviews. Nigga said I'm wildin'. The theme is God tier. Muted your ears. Alright, which review should we watch first? I wanna watch IGN shit first. Obviously. I wanna see like what people are actually talking about. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what they. Yeah, nigga. Bro, my neck is killing me, bro. Fuck. I need to brush my beard. I look homeless. Anyway. And that wasn't good to say. As in, like, you know, that wasn't cool. There's people out here that need help in life. Just, you know what I'm saying? So that wasn't cool to say. But anyway, alright, let's get into this shit, bro. I'm about to pull all this stuff up. Game Informer, blah, blah, blah. Next to Godliness. Oh, that's their review. Let's see what other reviews we got. Give me a second. Excuse me. I'm gonna pull the stream up in a second. Give me a second. Hey, is IGN's review spoiler free? Ah, highly doubt. Let me see. Let me see if this shit's spoiler free. I don't think it is. It better be. I don't think it's spoiler free, y'all. Let me see though. Let me check. Let's see if this shit's spoiler free or not. I don't know if it is or not, but we're gonna see. Forspoken's gonna be fire. I can't wait to play that shit, bro. They better say if it's spoiler free or not. Let's see if they say.
Time.
Nope. Not watching this shit. Definitely not watching this. Cause why would you put that in the beginning of the fucking like? Why would you even do that? Yeah, I ain't watching this. Yeah, we not watching that. Cool. Fucking, what the fuck is wrong with them? This is why I don't fuck with IGN most times, bro. Cause I'm watching Joy Raptor's video. Spoiler
When
free.
the developers
Fucking IGN, bro. You gonna put that as the first fucking clip, nigga? Get on my nerves, bro. It really do, man. They really be pissing me off, bro. And I'm sure the review is good, but that shit be pissing me off, bro. For real. I swear they be on bullshit, bro. Shit dumb, man. Everybody like the stream, please, please, please. Of course, IGN does shit like that, bro. Like, why the fuck would you put that as your first clip? Yo, these niggas, bro. It's always IGN. It's always them. And I don't got no beef with IGN anymore. But why? What was the fucking point of doing that? We expected to watch the stream. I said stream. Watch their review. It's gonna be nice to watch it. You know what I'm saying? The fuck are you doing? IGN, bro. IGN, do better, bro. Do fucking better, bro. All right, we're gonna watch Joy Raptor shit. Shout out to Joy Raptor, my guy. Shout out to Joy Raptor. He's a fucking goat, man. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if Joy Raptor still. I don't know if he follows me on Twitter still. I gotta check. All right. Let's get to it.
When the developers of God of War Ragnarok said that we've seen nothing yet after watching the story trailer, they were right. I've now finished the main story. Don't worry, there won't be any spoilers in this video whatsoever.
This is why I love fucking Joy Raptor. No spoilers. Real review, full review is gonna be A1. I'm looking forward to it, y'all. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait to play this fucking game, bro. It's gonna be a beautiful game. Giveaway. Hey, giveaway rules are in the description. Giveaway rules are in the description, bro. Giveaway rules are in the description for God of War. Get a double giveaway. 2 giveaways of God of War. 2 giveaways of God of War. PSN cards to buy for 2 God of War giveaways. And I might add one into it as well. I might. It's a big might. I might add one into the giveaway as well. I took off of work the 9th through the 13th for y'all, bro. Or the 9th through the following Monday for y'all. So Wednesday through Sunday, I'm off. Just to play God of War. Just to play God of War, bro. Oh, shit. All right, let's get into it. Like I swear to God, with the people from IGN, it's whatever, bro. Like what Cameron said. Why not just show gameplay spoiler free? What the fuck? Yeah, like why the fuck would he...
And this was kinda tricky, because the game is really full of surprises. And then I'm not only talking about the big out of left field story and gameplay twist, but also because of the impressive music and art design that makes you stop often to take it all in. And I totally shed a tear more than a few times during the many perfectly realized scenes. Experiences like this don't come by often. I've never seen a game toy with my expectation as much as Ragnarok, only to surprise me a few moments later. It made me care for characters I did not feel a lot for in the previous game, and also pushed me to change my playstyle many times during my 35-hour-long journey. Because yes, this game is mad.
He said he changed his play. Obviously, you're gonna run into different enemies and shit like that, so you're gonna have to change your playstyle and shit. But like, he said he changed his playstyle throughout the whole game, which is dope as he went along with it. So that's pretty amazing. Such bullshit. I work all night on the 9th. Damn, bro. I took off of work, bro. I said, fuck them. They would be fine. Not fuck them, but they would be fine. ACG's review has spoilers. And I just hate when they don't announce spoiler alert. Just announce spoiler alert, bro. Just say spoiler alert before you show a clip of something. I don't even want to see that shit. Fuck IGN, bro. Even though some of their videos are fire, I give it to them for that. But damn, bro, skill up, spoiler free. All right.
Massive, and there's still a ton of side content that I can't wait to get back to. These optional things are way more fleshed out than in the first game, with really cool, more open spaces to explore this time around. Now, I do have some small criticisms as well. I briefly want to touch on those, but I mostly want to go in depth on how Ragnarok makes one of the best games ever even better, with one of the highlights totally being the new gear set.
Okay, let me see. New gear sets and shit. Chest armors and just new armors and new things. New gear. I love it.
If you are excited to play, then don't leave a like to show your support. Subscribe for
Yeah, y'all like and subscribe to your boy, and I'm talking about me. Shout out to Joy Raptor too. This nigga's a goat. He makes some of the best fucking videos, gaming videos ever. He's a great fucking content creator, man. Shout out to Joy Raptor, bro. I remember he shouted me out in the stream before. That shit was lit, bro. This was a while back though. This was a while back. Now he's grown, so you know I wouldn't even be mad if he forgot who I was. I wouldn't even be mad, bro. You know what I'm saying? He doing his thing, man. Shout out to Joy Raptor.
Way more God of War Ragnarok content if you haven't already, and new and old subscribers can also still participate in my Digital Deluxe Edition giveaway via the link in the pinned comment.
Nice.
I will reach out to the winner just before launch, and with that out of the way, let's go. One thing I did not expect Ragnarok to focus on is companions. Atreus and Mimir can still give you directions during combat, so you can more easily dodge incoming attacks you've maybe not spotted yourself.
Right.
And you can of course command the boy to unleash arrows and even do some cool melee attacks together. I will only be showing footage with Atreus as your sidekick, but I think it's good to know that Santa Monica does a great job at shaking up this familiar formula, even if the pre-launch footage and my gameplay in this video only shows you the OG combination.
Right.
What does strength mean to you?
Man,
Some
get
say
this
it's how
shit
fast
off
you
my
run a mile.
goddamn screen,
But there are other
bro.
ways to define strength.
Dang.
There will namely be more phases that will join Kratos in his journey through the 9 realms, which will not only give you more insights into the Norse mythology, it will change the tone and dynamic of conversations, and it also means that the game is a bit more replayable, as you can do certain side content with different companions. Like Ragnarok has a ton of these optional objectives for if you really want to get lost in this world. Almost every time you go to a realm for a main story mission, you can after that choose to use the Mystic Gateway to immediately continue with the main quest or stay for some side content. I can totally choose to do this optional content later, but it's overall really worth it to do it immediately, not only for the useful and sometimes very unique rewards, but also because this content is very well done and quite different from the very linear story levels. These side objectives take place in small open world like spaces, where you can choose the order in which you complete things, like help an NPC, complete a treasure hunt, there are special boss encounters here, with more mostly combat activities added to these realms over time as you...
Bro, who the hell is that nigga? This man turned into the Flash.
Boss encounters here,
God
with more
damn,
mostly
look how
combat
quick he is,
activities added to these realms over time
damn.
as you play through the story as well.
Oh,
so there is a good reason to come back later. You will also find a lot of extra puzzles in these optional spaces, like the Nornir chest are back, but now have more varied ways to open them. New elements are added to even make familiar 2018 puzzles feel fresh, and the fact that you now have to combine powers.
Did y'all just see that? Am I tweaking?
To even make familiar 2018 puzzles feel fresh, and the fact that you now have to combine powers from each weapon, including Atreus' bow, makes it so that you have to think a bit harder this time, although it never got annoying for me. But of course, most of the time is still spent fighting enemies, which feels as good as you remember, but is now more strategic thanks to many new additions. There are some small things, like the new elemental protection that some enemies have. Here you have to switch to the axe to nuke a fire shield, or use the blades when enemies have a frozen shield. Like we have the axe and the blades of course from the beginning, and combining them is really beneficial, also thanks to an early skill that gives you bonus damage with the blades after freezing a target first with the axe, and the other way around. You might be aware of the new environmental things you can use, like grabbing a tree and swinging it around for massive damage.
See, I didn't know that.
Axe in a tree branch for an ice AoE attack, or grab a boulder with your blades and throw it towards the target. These things just remain a nice extra throughout the game to quickly deal with a few enemies during an encounter, but nothing more. Just like the extra traversal mechanics that you can now use to move more quickly through the environment, this is very rarely needed to succeed in battle. Which actually made me appreciate the Muspelheim challenges even more, as you won't make it without swinging to other platforms. Yes, you can then follow up with a nice smash on the ground as well, which now also possible from higher services. But yeah, in most encounters, these are just fun little additions, as God of War Ragnarok is still mostly about your raw combat skill and puts a bigger focus on the many new upgrades you can now apply. I really like the brand new amulet system that is similar to the enchantments from 2018, but are now in a separate menu under your gear, so not linked to armor pieces, meaning that you also don't have to equip and unequip them all the time when switching to a new loadout.
Wait,
And
wait.
your gear, so not linked to armor pieces you can now apply. I really like the brand new amulet system that is similar to the enchantments from 2018, but are now in a separate menu under your gear, so not linked to armor pieces, meaning that you also don't have to equip and unequip them all the time when switching to a new loadout.
Of course.
And 3 of the same category can be combined for special perks, like increasing your stun damage based on Kratos' defense, or enhancing your next attack after a perfect dodge. So there's something to look out for next to the regular stats. And there are also special variants without a set bonus but one big perk, like changing your rage so it lasts longer but you heal less. And while you have to unlock most of the 2018 skills again, all the rage abilities
Wait, we gotta unlock all that, which is fine, but like, goddamn, I didn't know that.
these are unlocked from the start.
Yeah, the rage abilities are unlocked from the start, like the moves that he do while he's in rage and shit like that.
So you can immediately go crazy. Brand new though is that there are different types of rage, but I don't want to spoil what those are. There's also another amulet that increases the damage of all Kratos' death from above attacks. Like, the game really does a great job at pushing you to try all the different moves and tools Kratos has available. And you
Kratos
especially
is
see
OP.
that in the improved
Plain and
gear
simple.
system. Like, one chest piece early on gives you health back on an R3 attack. So with this armor equipped, it's smart to focus on stunning an enemy to do these brutal takedown moves that in Ragnarok are also different for smaller enemies depending on the weapon you're wielding, and the results are really awesome. An armor set I used a little later in the game increased my melee damage based on my rage, so then it's actually smarter to keep a full rage bars and not use L3 and R3, and maybe play it a bit safer as well, because you don't have that solution to get your health back. My favorite armor set right now though adds poison damage to blocking, parrying, and your barehanded attacks.
Barehanded attacks, parrying, blocking, huh? Okay.
So with this equipped, I'm using my fist way more than the other weapons to quickly apply this effect. And next to the chest, you still only have the gloves and the waist, but now in Ragnarok they have a different suitable passive bonus that increases if you wear both of these items. So in this case, if I only wear the waist from this set, I get 20% extra damage against poisoned enemies, but if I combine it with the gloves, it increases to 40%. And again, that is great with the chest because I can apply poison with the barehanded attacks. Now this is just an example from one of the armor sets, but you could also combine pieces from different sets to create even more combinations. Not to mention the handles for each weapon that also bring extra stats and perks. So it's totally way more impactful than in 2018, and as said in my preview, all items can now be upgraded to level 9 as well. In 2018 you were forced to switch to more powerful gear because there was a cap on certain items, but in the sequel, every piece can be used throughout the whole game. I do wish there were more new runic attacks though. While the chests you come across in the main story usually have brand new ones, the optional content gives light and heavy runic attacks from the previous game. And while I was happy to see some of my favorite attacks back in Ragnarok, I did only find 8 runics for the axe during my playthrough, with 4 of them being brand new.
God
and while
damn.
I really like the enemy variety in Ragnarok,
What the fuck? I ain't ever seen that. Nope. That's different right there, bro.
Ragnarok, it's way better than in 2018. I especially love the mini bosses
different.
that
That
you
nigga
only
got
fight
a
a
damn
handful
ice gun
of times,
with
and
the
they
axe
changed
now.
the scenario up as well. There are also a lot of familiar faces that return in the sequel. And I don't mind this at all, as it makes the encounters more varied, but I did wish that we would have new takedowns for those older enemies,
a little
as
different.
I've already seen them way too often in the previous game. So, some small little things. My main critique is that
This game is GTA level open world. No, it's not. What are you talking about? Shout out to God of War too. But what are you talking about? I know you did not just say that, Austin. I know you ain't just say that. I know you ain't just say that. Ragnarok is gonna be fire though. You know this. I know this. Game of the year, hands down. Ragnarok. Hold up. You said looked like Ice Beam and what? Oh yeah, it's an Ice Beam. Like yeah. The way they added all those moves. Of course. Little flavor. Homie on meth. Homie on meth. Who? I'm gonna watch a playthrough after I finish it. I respect it, bruh. Terminate, what's good? Oh, you talking about man's up there talking about GTA Open, bro? That nigga tweaking, bro. This man done lost his damn mind. Come on, man. I'm tired. Guess what? Still streaming though. We lit. Hey, yo, let me get some water real quick. Y'all get a snack real quick. Don't leave. If you leave, bro, just don't. God damn. Nigga said game looks good, but I have doubts. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
I think Ragnarok is a bit too hand-holdy overall. It's similar to other previous Sony games. Things like companions that tell the solution to a puzzle before you could even think yourself are also present here. Or they will constantly repeat what type of activities you
never
can
had
do.
that. That's
like,
fine.
I get satisfaction out of figuring things out myself, but it's really hard to miss any of the side content in this game, and returning to some realms before the game wants you to almost always leads to nothing. So curiosity is sadly not really rewarded. Again, just tiny things that are kind of a trend in recent Sony games overall, but it doesn't take away from how special Ragnarok is. And by the way, if you have any questions after watching this review, leave them in the comments down below. We will namely be doing a spoiler-free review discussion on the channel right here and pick questions out of the comments. So yours will be answered during the stream. A link to that stream will be in the pinned comment. I can't wait for you to experience this game for yourself. Of course, subscribe for way more tips and tricks, guides, content like that. A like on the video would really help me out, and you can also check out that review discussion if it's already up by clicking on the screen. Otherwise, my preview with more details will be shown here. For now, I will speak to you soon. Goodbye.
Nigga said, you got doubts? Doubts? What? Doubts? Skill up. Swatch skill up.
This video is brought to you by SteelSeries and their range of premium wireless headsets. Ragnarok is a good excuse to spoil yourself, so give yourself the gift of 3D audio and industry-leading sound. Use offer code SKILLUP for 12% off your purchase. Click the link below or stick around to the end of the video to learn more. Let's begin with a discussion about spoilers. My number one objective in this video is not to review this video game well. That is a secondary objective. My primary objective is to protect your enjoyment of the game by avoiding almost anything that may be considered a spoiler.
Unlike fucking IGN, stupid ass.
I say almost because anything is a spoiler in a certain context. The fact that Kratos is in this game is a spoiler.
I'm not watching IGN review after they spoiled the fucking game. Well, spoiled a piece of the game in the beginning of the damn video. That doesn't even make any sense, bro. IGN has hella spoilers. Why would you put a spoiler in the beginning of your fucking video, though? Usually they say spoiler free. Okay, cool. Then they my nigga, you gonna show this shit right off the rip? Don't even get a chance for a nigga to click off. You know what I'm saying? Not even in the description it says spoiler free. Obviously, because it's not spoiler free, but like, not even in the description it doesn't say spoiler alert. Like, come on, bro, just say spoiler alert. And yo, like the stream. Duh, you idiot. Nigga, obviously we expected Thor. We already know Thor's in the game, but my nigga, you gonna show the clip of when he's in the house? Nobody don't want to see that shit. We didn't see him. We didn't see him in the fucking house, bro. Jesus Christ. Obviously, we saw him at the end of Ragnarok. Not Ragnarok, at the end of the fucking the 2018 God of War. Obviously. We already knew, it's obvious. We already seen Thor, but we never seen that clip. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what pisses me off. And they gon' show when they start the fight. Come on, bro. You gonna show them about to fight. You gonna show that. Nobody wanted to see that, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it happened so quick. I had to click off that shit. Of course they didn't. I ain't even gonna start this beef anymore. Have these niggas. No, but IGN, they do be dropping some good videos, like reviews and shit sometimes, but when this shit like this, come on, bro. Sometimes. It's rare. At this point, it is rare, bro. I just don't want to get spoiled, and I don't want to spoil y'all, because I'm the one that's showing this shit, so I don't want to spoil y'all, bro. Which I'm not going to do. I got y'all. Shout out to all the journalists, gaming journalists, and people content creators that's been reviewing the game. This shit is amazing, bro.
Spoiler, if you want to slice it that
no
way.
Beef or nothing in between.
Practically speaking, any major reveal, epic boss battle, special event or location, anything that may reasonably be considered a spoiler, I am not including in this video. Put another way,
amazing.
If it was a surprise to me, it will still be a surprise to you.
You're
even
amazing,
after having
bro.
watched
Shout out
this
the
video.
skills up, bro.
Okay, so God of War Ragnarok. Now, you already know that God of War Ragnarok is a good video game. Even without having played it, you can feel it in your jellies. What you want to know, and what everyone will be asking over the coming weeks, months, and years, is does this sequel somehow outdo its predecessor? I think that is a fundamentally flawed question when it comes to Ragnarok, because I don't think you should conceive of it as a sequel. It is instead the second and final chapter in a two-part saga.
Right.
Kill Bill Volume 2 was not the sequel to Kill Bill Volume 1, any more than Avengers Endgame was a sequel to Infinity War.
That's crazy,
The
right?
Lord of the Rings trilogy is one book that Tolkien published in 3 parts. You may feel like The Return of the King is a better part of the story than Fellowship was, or that Empire is better than Jedi. But that doesn't really matter, because those sagas were so powerful at various points and in their conclusions that it's the saga that stays with you, not the minor quibbles about where parts of it might be strong or weak. I say all of this because God of War Ragnarok is an absolutely extraordinary conclusion to this saga. It is remarkable. I marveled constantly at the power of the creative minds behind this and the technical talent who could make it so. How can you write a Greek murder god into the mythology of the Norse without it seeming ridiculous? How can you challenge and reframe almost every single preconceived notion you might have about that mythology without ever walking away from it or being untrue to it? How can you take those legendary 9 realms and breathe life into them, make them playable, make them explorable, make them stunning to behold, and fill them with secrets and stories? How do you deliver combat that deftly walks the line between overwhelming complexity and approachability, between functionality and spectacle? How the fuck do you get it to run at 120 FPS? And most importantly, how do you ground all of this in a tale of a father and son so scared of losing one another that they are constantly pushing each other away, free-falling into a prophecy they are both desperate to avert but make more certain with every spoken word and deed? God of War Ragnarok has better combat than the first game, better open worlds, it looks better, it runs better, it has more bosses, more gear, more puzzles, more characters, more set piece moments, more everything.
So it's just a better game.
And say that most of that doesn't really matter to me.
Looking forward to
10
it.
or 15 years from now, I won't remember the newly expanded skill perk customization system, or the improvements to combat UI, or the clever open world puzzles I encountered in Helheim. What I'll remember is that Ragnarok met the moment. It continued, expanded, and concluded this saga with such power that it not only stands on its own, but it achieves the impossible task of somehow making God of War 2018 better. That is the power of a good ending. It imbues the preceding
That's what we
journey
need.
with more
The ending to games in general is everything. Like, that shit is very important, bro. Very important.
significance, and it protects that story for all time, enshrining it as something worth revisiting and worth sharing with others. That is Ragnarok's biggest accomplishment, not its frame rate or its boss battles or its loot. It's the fact that it concludes this saga so masterfully that you'll immediately want to go right back to the start of it.
Bro, I can't wait. This shit is getting me excited.
Again.
Even though I'm tired, I'm excited as fuck. Oh, shit.
I want to start with a look at technical stuff first, because the rest of Ragnarok is so strong that I expect its technical excellence will be overlooked and taken for granted. It begins with its suite of options and accessibility features. Consistent with the standard that Sony continues to set in this space, the menu offers a level of customization typically reserved for PC games. As you'd expect, there are 4 difficulties available. You can switch between the first 3 at any time, but the hardest difficulty, Give Me God of War, could only be enabled at the start of a playthrough. I played through on the normal mode, which is Give Me Balance.
I'm playing on normal. I'll play Give Me God of War 2 playthroughs or the next playthrough.
And I must say that I think it was a little easy, as I was completing so much side content that I often over-leveled encounters. My advice to you is that if you're planning that sort of completionist playthrough, you may want to consider playing it on those harder difficulties, since I suspect you'll have a better time than I did. Embedded in the gameplay menu is a raft of options I'd really recommend taking a look at. For example, puzzle timing is one. There are some time-based challenges in this game that are more annoying than anything else. I found giving myself more time to do them was an upgrade. Same goes for auto pickup, which is a huge deal because you have to pick up a lot of stuff in this game, and being able to just walk over to it and automatically pick it up is much better than having to spam the circle button 80,000 times.
Exactly.
The other thing I'd recommend tinkering with is the tutorial mode settings. Since
Okay, let me see. Repeat button. Obviously.
Did find these popped up a little too often, and they didn't add a lot of value when they did. I'd set this to minimal if I were you. You won't miss out on anything essential, and you'll be less distracted. In the graphics and camera menu, you will see a slider for motion blur. I am very on the record for not liking motion blur. I often disable it entirely. Here though, I didn't feel the need to do that. Even at its max settings, it didn't feel remotely disruptive, and I actually found it to be an improvement versus being disabled. That's personal preference though, but my takeaway is that motion blur isn't always bad, and Ragnarok is a really good example of that. On the PS5, which is where I reviewed the game, there are some graphical modes to choose from, and these are pretty crazy. There's a resolution mode that aims for 4K at 30 FPS, and a performance mode that delivers a very solid 60 FPS with the dynamic resolution. On top of that, if your TV supports HDMI 2.1, then an additional option opens up, allowing you to enable a high frame rate mode, which delivers 4K at 40 FPS, or a dynamic resolution supporting up to 120 FPS. I can't show that to you here, as most capture devices can't handle HDMI 2.1 yet, but it's there, and I guess we're all going to have to tune into the Digital Foundry breakdown to see how well it performs. I can tell you that 60 FPS performance mode is as rock solid as Kratos' abs. In my 37-hour playthrough, I noticed one instance of frame drop, and it was during some random exploration. I'm sure that some more detailed analysis will identify some fluctuations in this frame rate, but they were totally indiscernible to me during my playthrough. It was so good to play a game that ran so well and flawlessly, and it was a stark contrast to many of the games I have recently reviewed, not pointing any fingers. This performance mode becomes even more remarkable when you see just how good God of War Ragnarok looks. This recorded footage combined with YouTube's garbage tier compression does not do any justice to just how incredible this game regularly looks. It's a combination of art design and technical wizardry that has produced these beautiful worlds. Dense jungles,
look at it, there's so much going on too. That's what I like, bro. Sorry I'm not saying anything. I'm talking, or Listening.
Barren plains, frost-kissed
God,
tundra,
I'm tired.
the megalomania of the Aesir gods building impossibly grand temples to honor themselves and statues in their own likenesses to serve.
This is spoiler free. What are you saying? Bro, what are you talking about? This is literally 100% spoiler free. What are you talking about? You
As silent sentinels, projecting a reminder of
What are
their
you
rule even
saying?
in their absence. What
about
incredible
it's not
mythological
spoiler-free when it
tourism
is.
God of War Ragnarok affords us, and what a brilliant vision of these worlds Santa Monica have rendered for us here. You may wonder how much of a visual leap this game is versus the last, and the truth is, it's not much of a leap. Ragnarok does look unmistakably better, particularly in texture detail, environmental density, and lighting effects, but it still looks quite similar to the last game. It is a subtle but noticeable improvement, not an overhaul or a profound uplift. Keep in mind, this is at its core a PS4 game that will ship to last-gen consoles, but even despite that, I just cannot fathom any reasonable person looking at God of War Ragnarok and thinking, that looks shit. Restrained by old hardware though it may be, it still looks better than 98% of games on the market today. One complaint I had about Ragnarok was one that I thought could be put down to the PS4 holding the game back, but it turns out that that probably isn't the case. Ragnarok is stuffed full to bursting with those shimmy sequences where you slide down a narrow gap to get from one area to the other. Conventional wisdom is that this is used to mask loading sequences, which they can be used for, but apparently they are rarely used for that purpose. As confirmed by a developer from Insomniac who worked on Spider-Man and another one who was the director of The Last of Us, apparently this technique is more about boxing the player into spaces. Bayonetta and Devil May Cry have their magic walls that appear and vanish. God of War has arrow crevices. No matter the justification, it's frustrating to be honest, given that you are constantly edging yourself through crevice after crevice. If it's part of the level design language that exists to serve the combat side of the gameplay, then I think some new language is required in future. By the way, on the topic of load times, when you do encounter them, typically after a death, they are very quick. Here is an example. Not too shabby at all. Outside of that, God of War makes use of the DualSense controller, but it's a fairly lightweight implementation. The adaptive triggers are only rarely used. Only during pre-scripted sequences where Kratos has to hack through something with his axe, it would have been interesting to see some part of the combat sandbox make use of them, but given that this is also a PS4 game, I can understand why that didn't happen. The biggest benefit the DualSense brings is haptic feedback, which continues to be such an awesome upgrade over the standard rumble from previous generations. In combat, in exploration, in cutscenes, this controller is always conveying something to you in ways that you will notice, even if you're not paying attention to it. It's so present that it absolutely crunches through the battery. I'd go long sessions where I'd have to burn through 2 fully charged controllers inside of like 10-ish hours. The DualSense is putting in the work, and I continue to believe what I said a while back, that there are 2 next-gen consoles, but only 1 next-gen controller. And while the adaptive triggers are a little wasted, the haptics are certainly not. Incidentally, there is full button remapping available in the menu, as well as the option for motion controls when you're aiming your axe. It is what it is. I didn't use that, but it's nice that it's there since I know more than a few people like when games offer motion controls as an option. The final technical element to call out is audio. On the PS5, Ragnarok does support 3D audio using both stereo and USB headphones. It's difficult to compare this with the previous game because, to be frank, I don't quite remember anything specific about the original game's audio, but I will tell you that the audio here is excellent, both in terms of the overall soundscape employed and the utility of that 3D audio. One of the complaints about 2018 was that its over-the-shoulder view was too narrow and its combat HUD not clear enough to warn you about off-screen threats. That stuff has been improved here, but I found myself relying on directional audio cues more than I did before. You are being fed a lot of positional data while you're fighting, and those crucial information-bearing sounds are prioritized in the sound mix so you can react to them. Finally, bugs. I will tell you, in 37 hours played, I experienced 2 minor issues. One where Kratos kind of glitched on a ledge for a split second and then he was fine. Another one where he clipped into an invisible wall. 37 hours, 2 minor glitches. Whether it is the options menu, accessibility, visual fidelity, performance, load times, controls, audio, or bugs and polish, Sony's first-party studios continue to maintain an extraordinarily high bar, and Ragnarok is yet another example of this. It's a technical tour de force that for many other titles would be its centerpiece, but here it's at risk of being overshadowed by how good the rest of the package is. You get so swept up in Ragnarok that you'll often fail to remember that this is all just code. Some people sat at a bunch of computers for a really long time to make this, and they did an extraordinary job bringing these characters, this world, this action, and this saga to life. God of War Ragnarok begins some 3 years after the events of the first game. Kratos, born a Spartan and forced to carve a path through the Greek pantheon, has found his way to the realms of Thor and Odin and Freya and the world serpent, Jormungandr. In this new world, Kratos takes a wife and has a son, Atreus, but Kratos' upbringing was cruel and the life he was forced to lead hard. He doesn't know how to show love to his son because he was never shown any himself, and when Kratos' wife dies, she sends her husband and her son on a pilgrimage that seems in no small part intended to bring them together. The pilgrimage did just that, but it also put Kratos and Atreus on a collision course with the gods of these realms, and ultimately reveals a prophecy that everyone, friend or foe alike, are desperate to avoid. That prophecy is Ragnarok, the Norse myth of the end times, where the gods and their armies do battle one last time. This is an ancient myth that we've seen rendered repeatedly across popular media, from books to comics to TV shows to the MCU, and that's just in the last half century. Before that, the myth of Ragnarok endured for at least 1,000 years, as literature and archaeological findings reference it as far back as 920 AD. The sources all shed different light on it and tell it in slightly different ways, but the core elements remain unchanged. The word Ragnar means the ruling gods, and Rock means something akin to fate. Ragnarok, then, is the story of the fate of the gods, and it always culminates in their destruction. You may be feeling a little uncomfortable at this point. You're like, dude, you said no spoilers. I want to be clear that knowing the prophecy of Ragnarok is not a spoiler. Rather, knowing the mythology is essential to properly enjoying God of War Ragnarok. I would say right now that if you are not brushed up on this stuff, go and watch some YouTube videos, go read some Wikipedia entries, go read a book if you've got the time. I really recommend Neil Gaiman's Norse Mythology, a fantastic retelling of these stories and characters, pulled from the historical records of the mythology, but generously embellished on to give it so much drama and villainy and heroism and flair. It's awesome. I don't say that you should know the story of Ragnarok so you can track it to some inevitable conclusion and point out Easter eggs along the way like that Leonardo DiCaprio meme. I say it because God of War Ragnarok is a dance with that prophecy. In one moment, Ragnarok seems inevitable, and nothing anyone does matters because everything, even the struggle against it, has already been written. In the next moment, the will of Kratos and Atreus to defy their fate seems to pay dividends, and perhaps they aren't struggling for naught. But you can only see so many of these successes and setbacks if you know who these people are, and what these locations, relics, and events mean. Without that grounding, so much of Ragnarok's deft dance with destiny is lost on you. That's why I think it is so important to read up before you saddle up for this experience. I will tell you that of all the things I loved about Ragnarok,
He held a gun to my temple.
Herschel Walker threatening to kill his wife was not an isolated incident. He made violent threats at least 10 times over a decade, threatening to shoot several people in the head, even threatening a shootout with police. In 2019, Herschel Walker talked about choking his employees. Now, his own aides admit they fear his mood swings and instability. Herschel Walker is violent. He shouldn't be senator. Georgia Honor is responsible for the content of this ad.
The Alien Gear Shape-Shift Shoulder Holster has revolutionized comfort and adjustability for the modern shoulder holster. And now, Alien Gear Holsters is bringing
Ragnarok, and there were many. The way that Santa Monica's writers used this prophecy as a launching pad for their own story was their greatest accomplishment. I think the power of God of War 2018 was its emotional core, that connection between father and son, both of them terrified of each other for different reasons. Seeing them break through that fear and come together was more powerful than any other part of that story. Here in Ragnarok, I was just in awe of this fucking plot. It is so clever. It's like a murder mystery where you think you know so many things along the way because you've seen it 1,000 times.
This is gonna be
you don't
fucking
know
crazy.
shit. It
Looking
reminds
forward
me
to
of that quote. Who are you gonna trust, me or your lying eyes?
All right, we're gonna stop right here, y'all. We're gonna finish up on this shit. Probably tomorrow. You know what time it is. I'm about to go to sleep. Or I'm about to shower and rest. Gotta definitely rest, man. But yeah. All right, chat. I'm out. I will see y'all tomorrow. We streaming tomorrow. Be easy. Yes, sir. I'm about to be knocked the fuck out, my boy. You see over here, dozy. PSI, thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Y'all deuces. Fuck that shirt, nigga. What?